guys, I'm Christina from Speak Better Feel Great TV, the place to boost your English and boost your career. And today we have a very special episode because we're going to be talking with Pat Brans, who is an expert in time management. And I know that for a lot of you, the biggest problem that you have in learning English and reaching your goals in English is finding the time to do it. So that's why today I've brought Pat on to Speak Better Feel Great TV. And this is going to be a very different, a very special episode. It's a little like an interview, a little like a chat. It's very authentic, which means that it's people like they really speak. So you'll hear sometimes the sentences are not always complete. Sometimes it maybe is not so easy to follow, which is also why that you'll find the transcript in the notes below this episode so that you can follow along and really benefit from all of the great advice that Pat has to give us. Now, just to introduce Pat and to tell you a little bit about who he is and why he is a great guy to listen to. Pat helps professionals to be more productive and to better manage their time. That's his job. And he's written a book called Master the Moment, 50 CEOs Teach You the Secrets to Time Management. It's a very good book. I highly recommend it. It's written in English, but it's quite accessible. It's quite easy to read if you have an intermediate level. So definitely check that out. And I'll put the link in the notes below the video as well. Now, Pat also teaches at the Grenoble École de Management, and he's helped busy CEOs and corporate executives to find ways to manage their crazy schedules and to be more productive. So he really takes productivity to another level, and he's going to give you the secrets of the high achievers, because if he can help them, then he can definitely help you to find the time to boost your English and boost your career. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And I'm just going to let you to listen to Pat and all of the fantastic advice that he's got for you. So Pat, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, great. Okay, now, first of all, Pat, how long have you been training people to manage their time and be more productive?
It's been about 5 years.
Okay, right, 5 years. Yeah. And what characteristic do you often see in people who need to manage their time?
Well, it's interesting because the people who need to manage their time the most usually don't think they're managing their time well. If I ask 19-year-olds, do you think you need any help with time management? They said, no, I'm fine. I'm managing my time well. Mm-hmm. If you ask the busiest people in the world who are very clearly good time managers, mm-hmm. like CEOs, do you manage your time well? No, I need to. Maybe I do, but I need to improve it. Mm. So the people who need it the most usually don't think they need it the most.
Okay, so basically if someone thinks they are good at managing their time, they probably need help.
Right, because you never do. There's always an improvement you can make, and it's something you should be. It's one of the things I found that was common about the people I interviewed, mm-hmm. the very good time managers, was that they are always working on getting better at time management.
Okay, just trying to find a way to optimize and to find 5 extra minutes in the day, something to just get better. In fact.
Right.
Yeah. And what's their biggest problem generally?
Well, I think that it's I don't view time management as necessarily finding time in the day and organizing. I find it more a question of attitude, that when you think about managing your time, it's all about actually achieving your goals.
Right. Okay.
Right? So if you don't set the right goals and you don't achieve your goals, then you're wasting your time. If you achieve your goals, you're doing it right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's not about finding that extra 5 minutes. It's about knowing how to use the time that you have in the most productive and the best way for your objectives.
Well, I mean, all that's very natural. What's really important is you set your goals in a way that's really consistent with what you want, and you manage your attitude. And then a lot of it just comes into place. That you can have bad days, you have good days. There's a few techniques like managing your to-do lists and things like that. But other than that, it's a lot about your attitude.
Okay, right. So yeah, sort of are you saying, for example, someone who starts the day and they say, "Oh, I have so many things to do, I'm not going to have time," that's going to happen. They're not going to have time.
Well, that's a whole different problem. That's one of the biggest problems in time management. People feel they're overwhelmed.
And is it?
And in fact, they're usually not. What it is they usually think that they have to do everything at once. And they're thinking about all their different things they have to do at once, rather than writing down what are the things I'm trying to do. Don't even think about it, except think about the one thing you're working on now, or the 2 or 3 things you're going to do during that day. Don't try to think about all the different goals.
Okay. So it's not necessarily the problem that they have too many things to do. It's that they're trying to do too many things at one time.
No, they're trying to think about too many things at one time.
Okay.
Even though they're not really doing it, they feel like it's like the psychology experiment where you throw 10 balls at somebody, they're not even going to catch one. So if you think that you got all these things out there, if you can write them down, if you have a system for writing them down, then you don't have to think about them anymore. You're not necessarily trying to do them all at once, but you're thinking about them. And you're worried about them. You're worried about things, but just worry about one thing at a time.
Okay, that makes sense, because it frees up your mind to really focus.
Yes.
And then you just do the thing that you focus on.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so people, they need to focus on one thing at a time so that their energy can really go to achieving that one specific goal. And this way they don't become overwhelmed. So if someone comes to you, for example, and they say, "Pat, I really want to improve my English because I need it for my job, but I just don't have the time. I've got too much work. I've got kids. I've got family. I don't have time." What do you say to this person?
Well, I think, again, that it's mostly about your attitude. And one of the things that causes people to procrastinate, there's a good French word, it's a new French word, about four it's been in the French dictionary for about 4 years. Procrastinate means you don't do things that are important, you put them off, or you don't finish them. Now, one of the reasons people procrastinate is that they didn't choose to do what they're doing.
Right.
They do it because they feel somebody else wants them to do it. They feel coerced. And coercion can take several forms. It could take the form of a reward. That means I'm doing it because somebody's going to give me a lot if I do it. Or I'm doing it because, the negative side, I'm doing it because somebody's going to punish me if I don't do it. Right? So either way, you wind up not doing it, or you do it poorly because you didn't feel like you chose it.
Okay, right.
And that's one of the biggest reasons for procrastination.
Because it's not coming from you. It's not your desire to do it.
Exactly. And the other reason people procrastinate is that they're doing it because they think it says something about their self-worth. They're trying to prove something. They're trying to say, "I'm going to do this because I'm the smartest kid in the class." For example, there's a test on Friday, and the smartest kid in the class goes and gets drunk on Thursday. Why does he do that? He does it because he's self-handicapping, because he's not really sure if he's the smartest kid in the class. He wants to give himself a handicap. So subconsciously, he goes and gets drunk so that if he fails a test or doesn't do absolutely the best in the test, he can say, "Oh, but I was drunk." You know, and so there's things, you play tricks in your mind if you're doing something to show off.
Right.
Know? But if you're just doing it because this is something you can learn, all you have to do is follow the steps. That's the best attitude to have.
Okay, right.
So what I would say to people trying to learn English is evaluate why you want to learn English. What are the obstacles you see? A lot of French people have problems. They're a bit complexed about learning English, as if it were something that's other people can do, but they can't do.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They always say, it's the French people. No, we're terrible in English, but it's they're like every other nationality.
Exactly. So it's simply something you learn a little every day, and that's it. So that's all there's to it.
That's an interesting idea then. So for example, a lot of people, they say, "Oh non, les Français, on est nul en anglais." It's almost like they're giving themselves a justification for if they're not happy with their level, it's like justifying that by saying, "Well, no, it's because I'm French and bad luck for me. I just can't. I'm incapable of learning English." But in fact, no. It's they have to really be willing to make the mistakes, to be wrong, and to go about it as a learning experience. Okay, so in fact, one of the big important things to finding the time to reach your goals in learning English, it's to fix objectives. So for someone who wants to learn English but they don't have time, how important is it to fix those objectives? How is that going to help them?
Well, first of all, you evaluate why you want to learn English, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can Then I would recommend studying short-term objectives.
Okay. Can you give us an example?
And, well, you could say work on learning the 500 most used words.
Okay, right. So keep it kind of maybe even smaller than 500. Maybe say this year I want to learn.
You can find these lists online. You can find 1,000 words the most used in the English language, and you can learn every one of them. Okay. It's no secret. Right? For example.
Sure.
For example, something like that, and so, or you say that I'm going to work on my reading skills. You just cut it up into chunks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so small objectives, mini objectives. Okay, sure. Yeah, so that's really good advice. I think that's the way that when I have a big project to work on, I look at how can I divide it, and even if the project lasts 3 months, then I know what I'm doing each week to make it manageable, in fact. Because if I have this giant project, like learning a language, that's an impossible objective. You have to do it in small bits, yeah. Okay, now what about another case? Someone who starts a program to, for example, improve their English, and everything goes fine for a few days or a few weeks, but then they just abandon. Is there anything that you can give to these people to help them stay with their program and stay with their objectives?
Well, again, you have to reevaluate why they're doing it. Are they doing it because they think their parents want them to do it? Are they doing it because their employer wants them to do it? Or are they doing it because they really want to do it intrinsically? They like doing it. They think it's a good idea. So they have to be honest about why you're doing what you do. That's the number one thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you're going to snap back. If you can tune into what you really want to do, then you'll get it done.
Okay, yeah. So they really, they really have to want it for themselves.
Yeah.
Not just because the boss wants them to, or that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, and then finally, just to finish up for today. To close, what's the one best piece of advice that you would give to someone who's motivated, they know that they want to learn English for themselves, but they just feel like they can't find the time? What do you say to this poor person?
Well, I would say one very easy tip is to start using the top 5 list. Mm-hmm. Okay, 5 is a number of things that you can think about pretty easily during the day, right?
Okay, top 5 list, you mean 5 things on your to-do list?
Maybe. It doesn't have to necessarily be a specific action. Mm-hmm. It could also be just a subject area. So you say, work on English. That's number 1.
Okay.
Go run to number 2. Number 3 is go to spend time with my son. Mm-hmm. Something like that. You have 5 things on your list. Okay. No more than 5.
Okay.
It could be fewer than 5. And those are the 5 most important things for you that day. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do it right away. It just means that you put it on your list, a sheet, and you put it in your pocket. And during the day, you pull out that sheet and remind yourself, what was I trying to do today?
Okay.
You look at and don't beat yourself up over not accomplishing things on that list, because you won't. There's a lot of times you want to accomplish everything. So for the day, have different things to do. You can remember what is it you wanted to really do, what was really important to you.
That's a really good idea. And instead of making like a to-do list of your tasks for that day, you think, what do I want to do before the day finishes? And you keep that very short, very manageable list just with you all day and look at it to remind yourself, I need to do these things to have a good day. That's really good advice. That's really good advice. And I like the idea of putting work on my English. That's a very good very good piece of advice,
That's
right? Okay. So thank you so very much, Pat, for talking to the people at the Speak Better, Feel Great community. I'm sure that they are going to have a lot of good ideas, a lot of good advice from this video. And for you guys out at Speak Better, Feel Great, if you found these tips interesting, and if you want to really find a lot more tips and to really go deep with this time management, I really do recommend Pat's book, Master the Moment, 50 CEOs Teach You the Secrets of Time Management. It's a really great book. It's very accessible if you've got an intermediate level of English. And I'll send you a link in the notes below this video so that you can look at the book and check that out, because it's very much worth the investment for you, for your objectives, your time, and for your English as well. So thanks a lot, Pat, for talking to us today. And we'll send some people over to see you if they need some real help with their time management.
Okay, thank you, Christine.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. Bye. And so that's all for today. I hope that you found Pat's advice and his information very interesting and especially very useful to help you to fix your goals, to manage your time, and to really just feel good about improving your English. Now, before we finish, I would love to hear from you. Today's video, it was all about time management and objectives. But what about you? How do you manage your time? What techniques or what tools do you use to manage your busy day and your crazy schedule? I have my own tools, and I'm sure you have yours, and I would love to hear about them. So in the comments below, share your tips, share your techniques, and from everyone in the Speak Better, Feel Great community, I'm sure that you can help them, and I'm sure you can get lots of good ideas as well. So thanks a lot for watching this interview. I'd love your feedback, and I will see you next time on the next Speak Better, Feel Great video. Thanks. See you next time.